Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Professor Jetha Nand Rahi, and you are watching my YouTube channel. First of all, let me remind you and request you that if you have still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon so that in future, whenever I upload any video, you should be able to get it very soon. And please tell your friends and family to subscribe to my channel also. Thank you. So the topic I have chosen today to speak about is thank you very much, my dear Pakistan. You would say, okay, sir, what is this topic? The topic is, mostly you might have noted generally, the general trend is I'm not talking of all the people, but there are a good number of people, still there are people who mostly talk, about Pakistan in a negative way. I'm not saying, let me repeat, I'm not saying all of the youth or all the people of Pakistan, but there is a trend, everybody says Pakistan has nothing, Pakistan has not this thing, Pakistan has not done anything, our nation is like this, we are like this, our departments are like this, that, and that. But in saying all this, they just pass a very sweeping, remarks, without any logic or without any rational, because actually they do not know that in 1947, when Pakistan got the independence, on 14th of August 1947, that is 75 years ago, on this year on 14th August, we'll be completing our 75 years journey. So they do not know actually that what we got in 1947. I was born in 1952, so I was only, say, after the partition of Pakistan, I was born 5 years later on. So I also do not know, but I do remember at least, when I, let us say, when I became 5 years old, so let us say in 1957 or 58, I do remember the first the martial law of General Muhammad Ayub Khan. I was 6 years old, but I have very vivid memories of all that. So I do remember what was there in 1956 or 55. So there is a long journey, and there are many barometers, when you just see and analyze all those barometers, you see, you will realize that we have journeyed, in the very forward way. But when we compare ourselves naturally with other countries of the world, then we became hopeless and then we talk negative. But I'm here going to tell you my story, the true story of my life, that is to thank Pakistan. Generally, we say what Pakistan has given us. Let me tell you what Pakistan has given me. I was born in a very, very poor family in 1952, exactly on 19th of May 1952. My parents were very poor. I was born in a small village, Dengan Burgdi, that is in Talka, Kot Ghulam Ahmad. The old name of Kot Ghulam Ahmad was Jamsabad. Now we have this Kot Ghulam Ahmad. It is named after Sai Rais Ghulam Ahmad Khan Burgdi, the first graduate of Sindh, and his tomb is also in my village. And I am proud to tell you that exactly in front of my that kacha house, there was the tomb of the graveyard of Rais Ghulam Ahmad Khan Burgdi, the first graduate of Sindh. So when I passed, from class 1 to class 6, I passed at Dengan Burgdi my different examinations, primary teaching and then middle school 1 year. I got very wonderful teachers, namely Sai Budpuri Saab in primary school and Mr. Lakshman Das in our primary school, and they did a very wonderful job. They taught me very well. Then in middle school, we got, Sai, say, sir, Ahmad Khan Saab, he was from Hala and he was a great teacher, a great human being. So my mother was just having a government job in scale 1 or scale 2, I don't remember. So her job was, all of a sudden her services were terminated in 1963 or 64. But then we became, my father and we all became very, I said, disappointed, and we thought, now what will happen? Because it was a very poor family, and my father was doing some odd jobs and earning a very less amount of money. So then, thank God, after some time we got an offer. My mother got an offer from the government of saying, okay, we cannot continue your service, but if you want to go and join as a fresh employee, then we can transfer you to middle school, girls middle school, Tando Jan Muhammad, and you can go and start your new service there. So then she had a meeting with my mamu, my maternal uncle, who was a businessman type at the village. He said, okay, go immediately, because Tando Jan Muhammad has girls schools and boys high school and this and that. In those there was no college in Tando Jan Muhammad. So then we migrated to Tando Jan Muhammad in 1964. Why I got interest in education, or why my mother wanted me to give education, because my maternal uncles, they were all final pass. Now in those days, final pass, that is the 7th class pass, was something very great. So one of my mamu, he was a daroga in the irrigation department. Another mamu, he was a businessman. Another mamu, he was also a businessman, but they were all final pass, and so they inspired my mother and myself. And then my primary teachers and middle school teacher, they also motivated and inspired me that I should study. So we went to Tando Jan Muhammad, and in Tando Jan Muhammad, I think when I got the admission in government high school Tando Jan Muhammad, on the very second day I got two very best friends of my life, which one is Fayaz Ahmad Khan, the best friend of my life, and second one was Mr. Yar Muhammad Sumro, who is in Karachi, and Mr. Fayaz Ahmad Khan, he is at Tando Jan Muhammad. So I got my education at Tando Jan Muhammad from class 6 to class 10, and passed my matriculation examination in first class with very good marks. If I am not wrong, my memory is okay, in 69% or 68%, something like that. In those days, getting 68% or 67% was something very great. But in class 9, my marks were still higher, but I did not go to the board office to get my say mark sheet, this and that, not so much interested. So after matriculation, I deliberately moved to Mirpur Khas, although there was no need, because the college started the same year, class 11 and 12 started at Tando Jan Muhammad also. But I said, no, I will go to Mirpur Khas. The reason behind that was because my cousin, Mr. Partara, he lived at Mirpur Khas, satellite town Mirpur Khas, and my sister, my cousin's sister, she was also there. Their family was also there. So I say, I'll be in Mirpur Khas. It's a big town, and actually, honestly, the reason was because there would be many cinemas, and I'll be able to watch English movies and Urdu movies and this movies and that movies. The year was 1968, 69 and 70. So I did my class 11 and 12 from there, and passed intermediate examination in 1971. So I lost 1 year. The reasons for that I cannot tell you here in this video, but many of my students and those who are close to me, they know the reason. Sometimes, something happens, so it's okay. I don't mind. I lost 1 year of my academics, that's okay, but later on I just picked it up. And after that, my intermediate, I could not continue my studies and could not go to the engineering college. And the reason behind that was very simple. Nobody supported me. In those days, the expenditure of seeking admission in an engineering college and living in a hostel was only, say, about 200 rupees or 175 rupees or something like that. But where from to get 200 rupees? Because my parents were so poor. I think my mother's salary, if I'm not wrong, was at that time something like 25 rupees or maybe 30 rupees per month. My father also got the government job. He became a watchman. I think his salary was hardly, say, 25 or 30 rupees. So total salary was 60 rupees, and we are living in a rented house. So we had to pay the rent also about 10 rupees or something like that. So how we are running the uh, household, and it was a tough, but what I did was that I did many odd jobs, and when I was in class 6, I started doing odd jobs at the restaurant of my own elder brother at Kot Ghulam Muhammad. That was Jamsabad. He used to give me 25 paisa only per day. So that would make 7 rupees and 50 paisa per month. But I had other attractions because it was my brother's restaurant. So I had the attractions of making parathas and this and that, and doodh pati chai and khara biscuit and this. Then at Tando Janam, I did many odd jobs, from right from class 7 to my BA final. I did many odd jobs. So my first job was at a fruit shop. He used to give me 50 paisa per day. That was 15 rupees per month. And then I had another job at a pan bidi shop, the same salary, 15 rupees per month. So that was 50 paisa per day. There was another job, some sort of, I used to give tuitions also. That was 50 rupees per month. That was later on. I had a job at a shoe shop. That was also 50 rupees per month. Then I had a job, there was a significant progress. I had a job at a cotton factory, a job of a clerk at a press where these cotton bales were pressed and packed. So that was 125 rupees per month, and I was very happy. I used to be called their Babu, something like a Babu. All those Makrani, laborers and ladies, and I was very popular in this and that because a young boy who was doing his BA part 1 and part 2 as a private student, because I could not get admission to any college or to any university. So I tried to do MA in English as a private student, but I went to Hyderabad at a Naseem Book Depot, but the owner of the Naseem Book Depot, Mr. Naseem Ahmed, he advised me very rightly, and he said, Jetha bhai, it's not so simple. You cannot do MA in English as a private candidate. At the most, if you work very hard, at the most what you would be able to do, you would pass it in third class. And if you get third class marks, who is going to appoint, who is going to give you any job? So better to come to the University of Sindh and seek admission as a regular student, and then work very hard and get some good grades and good position and this and that, and then you could get a government job or this job or that job. So I was just waiting for the right time, and then some miracle happened. One day, while after that my cotton factory job, I had another job at some sort of rice factory, or some sort of, you can say, flour mill, or some sort of manager over there. So there I was getting 150 rupees per month. Later on, I got a job at a trading company. Again, I think my last salary was about 200 rupees per month promotion, and this and that, 25 rupees per month per year promotion. So then, one day in the evening time, the Seth, this late Akbar Ali Khan, he told me to go to the restaurant nearby and ask the owner of the restaurant for the 2 cups of doodh patti chai, because some client came. When I came there was an announcement on Radio Hyderabad, local news, that they had extended the date of admission for MA classes in the University of Sindh till, I think, 31st of January. I do remember it was 28th of January, and they said we are extended it till 31st. All of a sudden, as if something happened in my mind, I said there are still 3 days. So 29, 30 and 31, 3 days are, and in the morning I can rush to Jamshoro and get admission, and this way I'll be able to save 1 year if I seek admission. Although the classes had started and it was more than one month and 1.5 months, but they just extended the date. So I just talked to Fayaz Ahmed Khan, my best friend. I told him the story that this is how I want to get admission, but I have no money. So that my great friend, he told me, go ahead, go early in the morning, I'll give you the money, go and seek the admission. He asked me how many years. I said just 2 years. January is already there, so I said January, next year January, and maybe it's hardly 2 years, 24 months, and during that time there would be vacations also. So when the university is closed, I'll not need that money. I might be at home doing some job and this and that. So he said, I'll provide you 200 rupees per month or whatever is the need. So this is how the journey began. I went to the University of Sindh, got the admission. I got the admission, worked very hard. Let me tell you very honestly, I used to work, study about 14 hours. So 5 hours at the university and 9 hours at my room. And the boys, they used to write the words of pagal, shouting and kicking my room up because I was not cooperating with them, not going to any party, any political jalsa and this and that. Because I knew that there was no gunjaish of any galti, as our great Tariq Aziz used to say in the Nidam Ghar ke galti ki koi gunjaish nahi thi. I worked very hard and I had a target, the boys and girls, they asked me, I told them I am here to get first position, and they laughed at me because I had a very simple clothes and this and that from Fayaz, my dear friend Fayaz Ahmed Khan. So I got second position in the university. Why I got second position? My teachers all said, Jetha Nand, you got the first position. So I don't want to tell you what happened, this and that, but things do happen. So I did not mind. Then I appeared for a government job at Sindh Secretariat. On merit, I was on the top, but I was never offered the job. The interview was also good. The reasons I cannot tell you here, but I know exactly what were the reasons. This happens, Then, thank God, this all happened for a blessing in disguise. That was my job for Cadet College, Petaro. Then there was an advertisement in Daily Dawn. Some friend told me, I applied. Boys, my friends, they said, don't go there, who is going to appoint you there and this and that. So they actually told me, you are going to Hyderabad to watch a movie of Muhammad Ali and Zeba. That would be matinee show at Firdaus Cinema and you'll come back in the evening. So you are just wasting your money and time. Don't go. I said, it's okay, let me go and try. What is the harm? So I went for the interview at Nurmand High School, and exactly at 9 o'clock, the van of Cadet College Petaro, that van which was there in 1977, late Captain Shukuruddin, the principal, in white dress and with a can in his hand, Professor late Shamim Ahmed Khan, a late admin officer, Mr. Kalimullah, and Abdul Hamid Sindhi, late the director of colleges, they were all there. They interviewed there. My interview was for 40 minutes. Everybody outside there worried what is going on. So it was a very thorough interview and good interview. And later on, it's a long story, cutting short, I was selected then and there. Again, I was called inside by Captain Shukuruddin, and he just assured me that don't worry, if you do not eat mutton and this and that, if you are a vegetarian, we can provide you independently a separate cook. I said, sir, nothing to worry. I do not eat beef, but I can eat everything. So this is the story how I got the job at Cadet College, Petaro. Sorry, I forgot my head of the department, Professor Tariq Mustafa Khan, was there also in the interview board, and he supported me. The principal supported me. The director of colleges, Hamid Saab, he supported me. Shamim Saab was also there, Kalimullah Saab. Naturally, they all supported me and they selected me. It was a unanimous decision. I got the job, and then I taught at Cadet College Petaro, who are my students, they know me, for 35 years. I did almost all the extra duties except teaching at Cadet College Petaro. I was assistant housemaster and then housemaster of Iqbal House. All duties, different duties. I cannot go, but I am here to thank Cadet College Petaro, my head of the department, Professor Tariq Mustafa Khan, the late principal, Captain Shukuruddin Saab, and all members of the board, and all my friends and colleagues of Cadet College Petaro who supported me and made my stay very comfortable at Cadet College Petaro. 35 years, my family and myself, my children getting all the education, this and that. We never felt anything, honestly. So the credit goes to all my colleagues and the people of the colony and all this. So I retired in May 2012, and at that time my pension was 55,000 rupees per month. In 2012, 55,000 rupees were a good amount, but nowadays you can say, okay, sir, 55,000 rupees. But now, thank God, my pension is 105,000, that is 1,05,000 rupees, more than enough for me and for my wife. I'm hugely satisfied. Thank God. Thank you very much, my dear Pakistan. And Pakistan, it gave me everything. I also tried to give to Pakistan, to my nation. And my way of teaching and my way of gratitude was that I taught my students very honestly with all my dedication, love and affection, and my students are testimony to the fact. You can ask any of my students. Later on, when I retired from Cadet College Petaro, my last pay was 1,33,000 rupees, and with all benefits, medical facilities, and a house, big house of about 500 square yards with 4 bedrooms, a huge drawing room, a lawn in the front, and kitchen garden at the back, and servant quarter and garage, and all 4 washrooms. What else one can dream of? What can Pakistan give me more? The son of a poor man who came all the way from Dengan, Burgadi, and became the vice principal of Cadet College Petaro, a military institution I have never thought in my dreams. And when I became the vice principal, my friend Fayaz Ahmed Khan, he came all the way from Tandojan Muhammad, hired a taxi, brought the flowers for me and sweets for me. And at that time, Commodore Muhammad Afzal, he was the principal. He especially came to meet Fayaz Ahmed Khan. There were tears in the eyes of Fayaz Ahmed Khan. His friend Jetha, how he started from Tandojan Muhammad, from Dengan, and he retired as vice principal of Cadet College Petaro. So I'm very thankful to Pakistan, to all my friends and everyone. And generally people talk, Pakistan slowly and gradually is improving. Forget the politicians, because in democracy all these things happen. Just look what is happening in the province of Maharashtra, in our neighboring country. So there is too much of circus going on in the province of Maharashtra. So never be disappointed. This is the sweet face of democracy. But the thing is, it should continue. They say, if you feel democracy is not working, put some more democracy. In the same way, they say, if you feel your love is not working or it is not bringing your desired results, put some more love. So same is true for democracy. If you feel there are problems in democracy, let the democracy continue. Continue and continue. And it is a process. Things are going to change for better. Our politicians, they should also think of money is not everything. Do serve the people, the poor people and the needy people of Pakistan, all the people of Pakistan. And if we become honest, if we have the fear of God in our hearts, mind and soul, I know we can make Pakistan strong and great. Say in 5 years, say in 10 years, say in 15 years, in 20 years, things are going to change. And our youth, I am very much optimistic. Our youth has the spark, it has the energy, it has the strength. I know they can turn the tide. Things have changed for better and things are going to change, inshallah. Be an optimist, pay your bills, your electricity bill, your gas bills, be honest, be a good teacher, perform your duties I'm talking to all of you. Perform your duties to all officers of the departments and all employees of Pakistan. If you want to make Pakistan great and strong, let us perform our duties well. And to all, to officers, right from grade 1 to grade 22. Thank you very much. God bless you. And I want to thank you very much, my dear Pakistan. I love you, and inshallah, very soon you would be one of the best countries in the world, inshallah. Pakistan, Zindabad.